Hi there, everyone. Yeah, another question here for the community. We've been getting a lot of forms filled in on our website from parents and students saying that they would like more support in their reporting cycles. Now, of course, I'm not going to name schools which those students are coming from, but it just sparked a little bit of interest to me as to, well, what are you reporting home? How are you doing it? What are you finding useful? What do parents like? And those are the things that are really interesting for us. What we're finding is that teachers really enjoy the granularity, so do the senior members of staff, but most importantly, the students love it. Parents really enjoy it, but not as much as the students. I'm going to get onto this really detailed report in a moment because this is really what we're seeing as the key. But I want to start with this idea that it's not the idea. Of course, everyone's reporting home. That's an obvious statement. What we are seeing is really working with the schools that we work with is students getting a real clear understanding of how they're performing with regard to the breakdown of the qualification. So typically you might be reporting home with something similar to this. So there's nothing really revolutionary going on here. This is a pupil progress report, but we've got the ability to see the teacher predicted grade, how they're performing against their minimum target. The school might be using a particular learning characteristic. Let's just say, for example, attitude to learning or effort levels. Now, this one was an engagement. We used this in our demonstrations that the schools wanted to track how engaged students were. But this is the thing that I was really interested in, especially given how many parents and students have filled in a form on behalf of their school on our website. And this is the granularity of it. So each individual subject area, so let's just go back one step. You can see here that you've got an English report, English literature, English language, showing me the grades. But then what I can do is I can then open and go under the hood of each subject area and see the granularity. So this is GCSE maths here, and I'm able to then see a number of things. Now, the thing that I really want to share, I've spoken about this on stage a number of times, and I've been at conferences or I've been asked to speak somewhere. What it does is improves motivation. This is the thing that we're finding. And again, the discussion I'm looking to open up is we're finding that students with this level of granularity improve their motivation to take action, or there's more willingness to take action, which is essentially what motivation is. For example, a student feels ownership. They feel real ownership over the report. It's theirs. It's got their name on it. It's in their hands. We've got an app. It's a physical printout. So we encourage schools to really print it, put it in their folders. It's in parent consultation evenings. It's in tutor time. So it feels like it's theirs. There's the ownership part. But then the real transformation, the motivation is the ownership. So the students start to feel the buy-in. The buy-in is the key here. So buy-in, students actually understand, right, there's a shift in understanding. I know as a teacher, my weak areas, for example, my paper 1 and my paper 2 and paper 3, my paper 2 is my weak area here, for example. I know as a student, you as a teacher know that. I also know as a student that my teacher knows, not only have I got an idea of how I'm performing across all topic areas, I've also got an understanding of which are my weakest topic areas and which ones are going to make the difference for me to be able to achieve those 29 marks that I need in order to meet my minimum target grade, which is clearly posted on the report itself. And most importantly, it also then links the key questions. So it's not just here's your weak areas, here's the related questions. So here's the questions that link to those particular topic areas. And if we get good at those types of questions, then we're going to be on to a bit of a winner, because that's where our 29 marks are going to come from. We're hearing so much conversation around students that are coming into lesson. I was actually speaking to a school this morning and they said, look, Brett, I've got kids coming into lesson saying, I know exactly which questions I need to work on, or I know I only need 17 more marks. Are we working on the long answer questions again? And it's now becoming not about the teacher. I'm quite passionate about this because as a teacher in Bermondsey, one of the things that really frustrated me when I first started was the students believed it was my responsibility as a teacher. They believed it. It was like, it's your job to get me a good grade. And then when I actually said, look, I'll be really straight with you guys. I do a pretty good job. I know that I'm going to meet my targets given the amount of students that I know are going to be interested enough and I know that our department's good enough to get those groups of students the grades that they need, that I'm going to be okay. But what I want to do is I want to make this about you. And I want to make sure that you've got maximum opportunity to boost your CV. And this isn't about me as a teacher. The shift was unreal. Like it was unbelievable, the amount of students that then just subscribed that, yeah, this is mine and this does impact my future. And actually it doesn't really, the teacher, it doesn't matter too much for the teacher if I don't get the grades, but it matters to me because it's my life. This is the thing that I also really get quite excited about with this is, how do I marry what I need to do to know that what I'm putting my effort in is going to give me the returns? So what I mean by that is, are you going to come to intervention session? And if you just put on the list and I know I'm putting on the list because there's a few subjects that I've been failing at, is it really worth me going to intervention? Versus a conversation where the teacher says, look, I'm literally got 4 of you targeting this particular topic area, these particular questions, these types of questions, just for 4 of you, because I know that I can get you at least a 25 mark uplift if you come to the next 2 intervention sessions, is a completely different conversation to, I know I'm underperforming against my target, and is it better for me just to go home and revise? Or am I that disengaged that I'm not even going to go home and revise at all? So again, very interested. How are you reporting home? What information are you finding works? What is working? What isn't working for you? What barriers are you coming across? What are parents asking for? But I thought I'd share this because it's something that's I'm deeply passionate about as a former teacher that use this platform, but also now hearing the feedback that we get from the hundreds of schools that use Pupil Progress.